Welcome to your weekday cup of the word. We're in Ephesians chapter 5. And Ephesians chapter 5 kind of focuses around comparing the church to different physical relationships we understand down here on earth. He'll start it out by talking to those in the church and referring to them as children, bringing in this new vocabulary of we are children to God. And when you begin to think of children and how they emulate their parents and the relationship there, you can begin to understand how important the church is and how important it is for us to try and be pleasing to the Lord, not believing those who live out in the world and those who would tempt us back to a life of darkness, but to walk in the light and follow after Christ and to be obedient children who are letting our light shine. And then from about verse 22 down, he will make the comparison between the most beautiful and intimate relationship here on earth and Christ and His church. He'll compare a husband and wife. He'll compare marriage and that beautiful union that goes all the way back to Adam and Eve to Christ and His church. And we often will look at these verses to understand marriage, but in reality, Paul wrote these words so that we could understand Christ and His church. So we look at marriage and we look at the way that is designed to be. And you say, as a husband is designed and ought to love his wife, that's the kind of attitude Christ has towards the church, that He'd give everything for the church. And the attitude of submission and respect that a wife has for her husband, that is the attitude that we as the church ought to have for Christ, a total and complete trust. And when you view it from that standpoint of looking at marriage as a physical model to represent how important the church is to God, it's a pretty amazing thing. Because of all the relationships on the earth, the relationship of a husband and wife is about as close as you can get here on earth. And he says that is an image so that you can understand how close Christ is to His people. What a beautiful thing to know that God cares about the church so very, very much. That's your Daily Cup, and we'll see you tomorrow.